Getting ready for bow season back here at home. All right. Well, hello and welcome back. This is day 5 on the Missinaibi, and because of the spotty weather we have experienced to date on the river, we decided to make this day at the bottom of Thunder Falls. It was Sunday, so we made it our fun day. I coached the fire back to life and had coffee while watching the sun burn the morning mist off the river. Soon Russ and I were chasing fish again. We landed a couple of good ones, and as you can see here, I needed some assistance with this particular fish. Although he was only 26 inches, he had some pretty decent girth to him. These northerns here seem to love the yellow spoons with red diamonds at this time of year. Shortly after fishing, I decided to explore the falls. I paddled out to the foot of the falls and toyed with the current for a bit. Then, as you can see here, I hiked up the portage trail heading back up to the top of the falls. The producer in me wants me to speed this clip up, but the reason you're watching is so you can see what we watched. So enjoy the hike up to the top of Thunder Falls. These logs were piled, 40 feet long, foot and a half in diameter. These were some big logs, and crawling over these rocks were wet, just added to the adventure. I used a helmet cam so I could safely navigate the pile of trees and logs that had collected throughout the spring thaw. No matter what camera I used, it just doesn't seem to show the drama or scale of how it seemed while I was there. For those of you who have been in an environment like this before, you know how dangerous it can be walking in wet water shoes with slippery rocks or logs. And you just have to remind yourself how remote we actually were right now. One slip could result in a twisted ankle, a laceration, an impalement. I mean, who knows, right? And believe me, with ADD, there's a lot of shiny things and distractions up here at the top of Thunder Falls, so I had to be very careful. You can see the perspective of our campsite from Thunder Falls. If you've read Hap Wilson's book, Missinaibi, Journey to the Northern Sky, he says, quote, "Thunder Falls, one of those perfect, almost storybook spots. It's a place where your imagination runs wild. Dark and mysterious, creating hiding places for fabled Ojibwe bush sprites and tricksters." I arrived back at camp to find the guys ready to set sail. Just before we shoved off, we took one last look at Thunder Falls. The sheer size of it was pretty fantastic. It's one thing to sit in front of it on your computer and see these pictures, but when you add motion to it, you begin to notice just how powerful it really is. A pretty uneventful 2-hour paddle today. We floated by Fire River, about 7 kilometers past Thunder Falls. Soon after that, we passed by Brunswick Lake Portage. It's a 1,500-meter portage that is usually wet. We could only imagine the flooded condition it must have been in with the water level so high. The mosquitoes would have carried us away. Remember, it had rained for a solid week prior to our start, and here you can see on the side of the river, it's down a good 2 feet since we set out on this journey. So as we arrived here at the unnamed campground, we started our normal ritual of setting up camp. Let's check in with Aaron as he just got done setting up. Mr. Lee, where are we today?
We're in Lake Missinaibi River, Missinaibi River. Started out in Lake Missinaibi 5 days ago. We have Deet, our friend, very much needed this trip. And then I have my hammock here. This is the Eno brand hammock and bug net. And really important feature here is the mattress, a blow-up mattress underneath. Helps keep the air distance between insulation between you and the outside elements. And I've got a nice little sleeping bag in there, my uniform's in there, and then a little fleece blanket. Works as a insulator in case you need more warmth, but makes for a great pillow too. So string it up between a couple of trees and I'm good to go.
Another part of the ritual was reviewing the maps with our navigator, Brian. We spread them out on the forest floor and talked about what we would encounter tomorrow on the river. So my job on the Missinaibi trip is videographer, photographer. So it's a fun gig. I get to carry some toys. I actually brought a Pelican case this time, which is a little bulky, but allows me to carry a bigger lens. I got a Nikon P510 that I brought along. We saw a couple bears swimming across the river, so it's actually got a 42 power lens on it, which allows me to get in there tight and see some wildlife. So this particular trip, I got a couple GoPros, 5-foot boom, but ultimately I like to put together home videos, I guess, if you could say, for the guys, and make sure that they've got some memories of the 140-mile trip that we made, and good images. It's always a balance of bringing the right amount of gear versus being a gear whore. And when it comes to camera equipment, gear whore! Even though we are all together, we usually grab some alone time to sift through our thoughts. We relaxed and reflected on the day under this terrific cedar canopy as the fire crackled nearby. We cooked our dinner, and pumped water for tomorrow's coffee and breakfast. This was a beautiful camp setting to wrap up our Sunday fun day. There was a big rock shelf we could walk out on right into the river. It was a great place to watch the sunset, and soon after, the night sky full of wonder and shooting stars. We played several rounds of euchres until we just couldn't take the mosquitoes anymore. Hey, thanks for watching my video series on the Missinaibi Kayak Expedition. We've got a few more days on the river, which means a few more videos. Stay tuned, we'll see you next time.